In this video, we're going to talk about ways that we can take text and we can pull text out of a long string of text. So a string is considered a text value. So here we have the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way through L. Even though I put those in individual cells just for the sake of illustration here, this could be considered a text. So if I click right here, you can see that would be a text string. There are 5 Excel functions that will allow you to work with text. And I've listed them here. The first one is find, and this has 2 arguments. The first argument is, well, what am I looking for? Am I looking for a space? Am I looking for a letter? Am I looking for a special symbol, the @ sign, the colon, the comma, whatever text you want. And it can be multiple characters. Just make sure you put it in quotes. And then the within text is, well, what text am I looking at? Generally, we refer to this as the actual cell. The second one is len. This will tell us the length of a text string. Just tell us how many characters it is. Everything in that text string will be counted. Spaces, special characters, unusual characters, symbols, text, upper, lowercase, everything. Spaces will all be counted. And this is going to tell you how many letters long it is. So if we were to do this for this one, which we will in a minute, we would have 12. I put these in 12 little boxes. So those actually give us either a position or a number of characters. The next 3 are going to allow us to pull from that string. So the first one is the left function, and it has 2 arguments. Oddly enough, the left and right have the number of characters as optional, but it's kind of useless if you don't have that. So the left will start from the left side of your text. So the text is, well, what am I looking at? And how many characters do I want to return? The right will start at the right side, or the end of your text, and will work toward the left. So it'll start at the end, and we'll go and count the number of characters from that. It'll still put them in the original order, but it'll back up from it. The last function is the mid function. And this one actually allows you to start somewhere within the text. So you still have the text argument, meaning what am I looking at? What position do I want to start? And then how many positions from that starting point do I want? So these are the 5 functions that we're going to be working with. So over here on the right-hand side, I've just typed the letters A through L, and we want to find some components of this. So the first thing is I'm interested in what the length of this string is. So I'm going to click on that cell, and I'm going to type in equal len, and then you'll see the argument is text, and it's going to be this text right here. And then I'll hit enter, and it's 12 characters, which you can see from my illustration is what it should be. So the next one I want to do is I want to pull from that string, and I want just the first 3 letters. And since it's from the beginning, I'll just type in L equal left, and it wants to know my text, so that'll be that string. And how many characters do I want? Well, I want to have 3. Now, as you see with the text argument, it can be usually it's a cell reference. Your number of characters, or your starting number, if we're talking about mid, can be either a number, a physical number you type in, or it could be some sort of arithmetic, and you'll see that in a moment. So I'll hit enter. Now sometimes when you do these, you may not get the exact answer you want, so you might have to do a little bit of trial and error, especially when we start working with pulling things out from the middle of our text string. The next one I want to do is the last 3 letters. So we're going to use the equal right, and then again the same text string, and we want the last 3 letters, and I'll hit enter. Now sometimes, depending on what you are doing, you may find that one person used the mid function, another one used the left function, another one used the right function. There's never a absolute right answer. It's just there might be something a little easier to work with. Well, the next two boxes, we're going to actually want to look for some of the letters after a particular letter. So we want to use something in between it. So what I want to do is I want to know where the position E is. So I'm going to equal, and we're going to do find. And we want to find what? So we'll do double quote E, double quote, comma, and then I want to find it within this text string. So it's going to tell me the position that E is at, and that should be 5. So you can see that I've numbered these here. So the letter E is the 5th position. We need to use that because you'll notice that the mid function needs to have a starting number. So we need to at least know where to start. Now here I said the 4 letters after E. So that assumes that we don't want to include E. So we're going to do equal mid. The text will be our string. Now we have to have that starting point. Now obviously we want to start with the letter F. We want the letter after E. Now if these are all consistent, if they're in the same position, you'll see an example of that a little bit later. You may not have to go as detailed as we're doing right here. But I know that the letter E is at position 5, so I'm going to select this cell. But then I want to add one to it because I really want to have position 6. So E is at 5. I don't want to start with E. I want to start after E. So I'm going to add one to that. And then I'm going to hit comma. And then I wanted the 4 letters, so I'll just hit the number 4. And then I'll hit enter. So we have F, G, H, and I. So when we work with the mid function, we may have to do, and even the other functions, we may have to use the length of the string, which was up here using the len function, or we may need to use the position of a character we're looking for, and here we use the find function. So whatever works best for you when you're working with these, and you got to play with them a little bit. You got to do a little bit of trial and error when you are working with these types of functions. We're going to have some more examples, but I want to at least give you a quick little introduction to using these 5 functions.